Sensay lights the path we've made. From stories untold to wisdom profound, we'll keep your voice where it's always found. The spark of genius, the heart of thought. In every step, the battles we fought. Preserve, extend, and innovate, for the future is ours to create. Sensay rise through the ages and time. Knowledge immortal, voices that climb. From the past to the future, we pave the way. Wisdom eternal, this is Sensay. AI built, but human in soul. A legacy carved to make us whole. Through every moment we hold the light, guiding the way both day and night. Imagine a world where minds unite, ideas soar and dreams take flight. Together we stand, a force so strong, echoing brilliance where we belong. Sensay rise through the ages and time. Knowledge immortal, voices that climb. From the past to the future, we pave the way. Wisdom eternal, this is Sensay. This is the anthem of innovation, a promise of endless creation. Breaking the rules, rewriting the game. Sensay is more than a name. Sensay rise through the ages and time. Knowledge immortal, voices that climb. From the past to the future, we pave the way. Wisdom eternal, this Sensay. This is Sensay. Fades, Sensay lights the path we've made. From stories untold to wisdom profound, we'll keep your voice where it's always found. The spark of genius, the heart of thought. In every step, the battles we fought. Preserve, extend, and innovate, for the future is ours to create. Sensay rise through the ages and time. Knowledge immortal, voices that climb. From the past to the future, we pave the way. Wisdom eternal, this is Sensay. AI built, but human in soul. A legacy carved to make us whole. Through every moment we hold the light, guiding the way both day and night. Imagine a world where minds unite, ideas soar and dreams take flight. Together we stand, a force so strong, echoing brilliance where we belong. Sensay rise through the ages and time. Knowledge immortal, voices that climb. From the past to the future, we pave the way. Wisdom eternal, this is Sensay. This is the anthem of innovation, a promise of endless creation. Breaking the rules, rewriting the game. Sensay is more than a name. Sensay rise through the ages and time. Knowledge immortal, voices that climb. From the past to the future, we pave the way. Wisdom eternal, this Sensay. This is Sensay.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the, first of the new series of weekly updates that we're going to be providing from the Sensay team. Each week, we'll be inviting different members of the team and giving just the latest updates, what we're working on, and different, community call updates, and also answering any questions that have been posed during the week that we think need to be addressed or during this stream as well. So welcome everyone who's watching live. Welcome everyone else who is watching on the recordings. I'm Dan Thomson. I'm the CEO here at Sensay, and joining me today is our head of community, Lars. As always, how are you today, Lars?
It's always a lovely day. It is bright and sunny and very gray out here in Denmark right now. How is it over with you over there?
I'm in Denver for ETH Denver this week. It is cold. I'm not used to cold weather, to be honest. Apparently, it's not that cold. I'm just, a bit of a softie. But yeah, no, it's been good. It's been a very interesting week. Lots of really, incredible new technologies out there, and great to see where the Web3 space is. And great to be back in Denver. I haven't been here for a couple of years, so it's good to get back and actually get back to the city and see a different side of it. And yeah, just really get to, catch up with old friends, meet new projects, new partners, and loads of AI stuff. So it's really interesting to be back here. So yeah, how's everything in the community at the moment? What's new?
Well, we have a lovely generals basically in our community. Our community headline is always going out and pushing and also doing our questing and everything. Basically, we have a very good community right now. It's very subtle, very compared to the market itself. They are very down to earth and relaxed because everybody feel like it's touching grass these days and really enjoying it.
Yeah, it's. I don't think we're going to talk too much about the market. I think everyone else will probably be all over that. So I think we're going to focus on Sensay things today. So yeah, the rundown for today's call, we'll go through some updates, just let everyone know about the recent events we've been attending, what we're currently working on, what's coming up soon, and talking a bit about partnerships and hackathons as well. And then we'll get some Q&A. So if anyone does have any questions they'd like to ask us, please do drop them in the comments on YouTube, on Twitter, Telegram. We will see the questions and we'll bring up the questions here. And great. So kicking off, for those who aren't familiar with Sensay, Sensay is a sorry, excuse me. So Sensay began with a personal realization from myself when I was in my teenage years, after I ended up suffering a huge concussion after hitting my head extremely hard. It caused me to lose my memory for about 48 hours, and it was really terrifying. It really made me realize that human memory is extremely fragile, and even our deepest and most sort of ingrained knowledge can be lost just in an instant for an accident. So it's been a passion of mine ever since to preserve that knowledge. That kind of led into me writing a couple of books around the concept of digital immortality and mind uploading, combining philosophy, AI, science, consciousness, identity, and even existence. The books are called Immortality in Digital Age and The Digital Afterlife. They go through the concepts of mind uploading, AI-driven longevity, and preserving human essence in the digital world. Over the last couple of years, as AI exploded into the space, obviously Sensay, the concept of Sensay was born. The brand came a little bit later, and we've been working on it for the last 2 years now. So Sensay has come about as this idea of capturing, preserving, and scaling human knowledge, and we've come to this concept of a wisdom engine to make that into a reality. So Sensay as a whole, Sensay is now has built the world's best wisdom engine. It's powering AI digital replicas to preserve and share individual and collective knowledge. We help entrepreneurs and organizations retain expertise, share and scale knowledge, and enable business continuity. What that means is we basically capture that very inherent personal and institutional knowledge, create an AI replica of the person to be able to share it with their teams, with their international teams, 24/7 in any language, as if it was the real person. So this could be used for experts who may be retiring because they've been at a company for a very long time, might be leaving, might be just on holiday, or might be just asleep. They might work on international teams. They might just need that knowledge that becomes unavailable should someone be in a meeting, on a community call, at a conference. Making sure that their team isn't blocked because they are not actually around to be able to share the information, because most of the questions someone might get asked are actually basic questions that could be answered by an AI version themselves that's sufficiently trained with the relevant information. So that gives you a bit of an overview on where Sensay came from and what it is now. These last couple of weeks have been really interesting. So we did our demo day a couple of weeks ago, which was following a team offsite, and we're a 100% remote team. So we actually get together 3 times a year, and so we had our last team meetup as a bit of a sprint to get some things done, which led into our demo day, which is great. So you can check out the demo day on our YouTube channel. You can check it out on our socials, and you'll be able to find little clips as well from different parts of that. The demo day led us into the last couple of weeks of just focus and build, where we've actually been having heads down and really working on building out this focus on building out the website, updating the website, building out the wisdom engine, and making things available via our API for different integrations and different potential verticals. This forms part of our bigger plan to continue building the world's best wisdom engine, so that it can be applied to different verticals. Everything from healthcare to education to gaming with interactive NPCs. You can look at networking, job hunting, matchmaking. You can look at influencer marketing and grief tech, replicating loved ones if they pass. So we're making this available to anyone who wants to build on top of Sensay. And this will come out in the form of enabling entrepreneurs and builders and developers in the community to be able to come up with different use cases and run them as their own businesses. This is what we're going to be working on in the next 3 to 6 months. But for right now, this week we've been quite heavily involved in a couple of events. So half the team was at half the BD team was at Web Summit in Qatar, where they were presenting as an alpha startup, presenting on to any of the local businesses, local governments, and local community in the Qatar region, as well as international guests, obviously, as well. Presenting Sensay, having a demo of how the replication technology works, how it looks, how it can be used, and the response has been huge. I mean, the guys secured something like 160, 170 different leads. So they've absolutely done an incredible job, and the response has been overwhelmingly positive. People are super excited by what we're building, and so we're looking at different ways we can integrate it into their various businesses. At the same time, I've been in Denver for ETH Denver with some of the Web3 team to obviously showcase Sensay what we've been doing, and the response in itself has been great. Explaining that we create these digital AI copies of people to share and extend people's knowledge, to make them available to have as essentially a superpower, a tool that they can use to interact with their friends, their family, their work, their community, and engage with people on a much more deeper but also automated way. So that's why it's it's been really great. And then ETH Denver as a whole has been super interesting to see where the Web3 space has come along to over the last couple of years, following the pandemic, and seeing how the space has evolved through obviously from the Ethereum community, moving on to L2s, layer zeros, and then even to L3s, and roll-ups and modular blockchains, to now actually come almost full circle, and people are starting to reinvent the way that L1s are even created. So it's amazing seeing all these different new L1s that have been developed in quite unique ways. Everything from things like Story Protocol, focusing on IP-led, blockchain and infra, through to anonymous autonomous, sorry, not anonymous, autonomous, who are building out this incredible blockchain solution where it's all based on transactional knowledge. So actually registering every part of generative AI knowledge as a separate transaction on the blockchain to ensure that the ownership and the actual sort of security of each of the generated functions are, are tracked, are analyzed, and able to be shared. So there's a huge amount of, incredible developments that have been happening, and great to see that the response has been super positive for what we're doing. So picking up lots of different contacts. Today is actually the second main day of the ETH Denver conference, so we'll be heading there pretty much straight after this call. We've got some, we'll be following up with loads of sort of stories and information about what we've achieved, who we've met, and some of the different events that have been going on while we've been here. Other updates include that we have just brought on a few new key team members. So we've got a couple of new starters. We've got a new product lead starting in a week or so, and a new product owner. So we're hoping that will help us to push through some of the many ideas that we have day to day. Our labs and R&D division has taken on a couple more people. So that basically enables us to quickly develop new ideas, quickly develop new different features and integrations, and test them out before putting them live or integrating with our main development stack. Right now, we are currently working on adding training to our API. So our API can do the chat, can do the replicas, but we're adding the training function to it. So that's one of the biggest developments we need to have done in the next few months, but it will now be done sooner, which will enable us to then move on to developing out a developer portal so that anyone can turn up to our site and use our API to create any of the different features, integrations, or verticals in themselves to create their own businesses. Those different verticals could be, like I said, anything from healthcare through to gaming through to grief tech. We've got quite a few different concepts out there that we have, but also I'm sure there's plenty out there that we haven't even thought of that other people would like to build on top of what we're doing. It also enables us to start open sourcing different features and integrations. This would essentially mean that we can leverage a wider community of developers to contribute to the Sensay project, to introduce new features, new integrations that could be useful to them and to others. So for example, we have, I think, 200 different integrations we've got listed that we will put up as bounties, but we will, there's probably more. So there's some that, we got told this week, like people in Thailand use a messaging service called Line. Now, obviously we were thinking like, WhatsApp, Telegram, SMS, all the usual sort of Western ones, but, introducing other software that we don't even know about, and having that open source community building out these different integrations for us just means that all these different integration developments will move faster, and also just ones that we haven't even thought about. So it's going to be fantastic to actually make that happen over the coming months. Right now we're finalizing our updated interactive video integration with HeyGen. We are working on the website widget to make it useful for customers and clients to have a web widget version of their Sensay on their website, which will essentially mean that the replicas can become useful, can become like, almost like sales and customer service agents on a particular client website. We've got the Twitter integration coming. This is both for training and also for posting. So this will enable your replica to start posting for you as if it's you. And then we've also got payments with Sensay coming up. So this will enable anyone who wants to pay with a Sensay token to actually be able to pay for their subscription. They'll be able to pay for the API and also be able to pay for swag on the on the store as well. If you like any of the swag that you see us wearing, you can go and pick some up at shop.sensay.io. And then in terms of like some new and sort of older partnerships that we've been working on for a while. So obviously out to the back of these different events that we're going to. So we did Web Summit. We've got ETH Denver this week, and next week is South by Southwest in Austin. And then following that, I think the next one will be Token 2049 in Dubai, and then Web Summit in Vancouver in May. There's also Web Summit in Rio as well. So out of these events, we're looking for new partnerships. We're sourcing different integrations, different potential people to work with, and potential clients as well. So we are looking for interesting partners that can help us build out our enterprise solutions, help us get into different large scale companies, organizations, governments even, to be able to actually create these key replicas of the key team members. For example, next week we're pitching a company that has over 100,000 employees. Most likely they've probably got about 30 to 40,000 of those retiring in the next 5-10 years. And so if you take the key people, which is probably about 10% of them, you're looking at 3,000 to 4,000 replicas of key people within that organization that, by creating a replica of them, we're actually preserving that knowledge for the next cycles, for their junior employees to actually interact with and learn from. We've had quite a few Web3 partnerships over the past year. It's almost coming up on a year since our TG. So we had some great partnerships. Some of them have faded away because either their projects are wrapping up, some have actually been acquired and moved on, and also other ones that we still want to work with. So even just being here at ETH Denver, we've had a chance to catch up with the likes of Humanity Protocol, which has 4 million users already. We've got people like Checked. All of this ties into proof of humanity and verifiable data. That means having essentially anything that your replica is trained on, everything that your replica can do and will be able to be verified and authorized on chain. What that means is that when you have your replica, and there may be even multiple replicas of an individual, we can actually authorize one in particular to, we can actually authorize it as your verified official replica to be able to do things for you, as opposed to another replica that might be created by someone else or by yourself as an unofficial one that would maybe not be acting in a way that you would want to. So by having the one that you've created and have it verified and authorized to act as you for you, it means that everything that can be done can be verified, can be authorized on chain to be verified that it's come from you in some kind of structure that is kind of a bit like a legal structure, but in a way that's actually got some kind of accountability and I guess a much more robust, trusted form of verification. So, for example, if you had a generic LLM, you might be able to, or generic agent function, you might be able to say, find me a restaurant I might like in my local city, and can you book a table? And it will go and do that. But it wouldn't be that personalized. It'll probably be some generic one that's actually built out a good SEO for LLMs. So it might be just a good restaurant that's got a good recommendation, but it might not be something that you would like. So with a personalized replica of yourself, having your preferences put into it, and having that replica authorized as you to go and book out a restaurant that you would like, what it basically means that personalization of that LLM and that AI, so it becomes a very personal knowledge management system that adding an agentic function means that it can actually be useful to you, but it's useful to you in a way that's personal to you and not just generalist, which in itself causes problems. So the personal one really helps to tailor the AI to you as an individual, and that's basically what Sensay has is so powerful and so useful to individuals. Coming up very soon, actually, I've kind of touched on this already, but we've actually started a series of monthly internal hackathons with our team. So we have encouraged our entire team to, once a month come up with some ideas and things to build out. And so that enables us to have a bit of fun, to build out some, really exciting little features and potential use cases for Sensay. And we'll probably announce some of the winners for that over the next few days. There's been some great ideas, everything from dynamic conversations to creating entire sub verticals and brands like a personality engine that Kevin from our marketing team is extremely proud of. So we'll be sharing some of those, some of the ones that we've actually had a chance to review over the weekend and come back with some of the winners and latest updates from the team. That's most of the update from me. I think we can probably bring Lars back in now and tackle some of the community questions that have been floated around the last week.
Well, I see a lot of the communities actually sitting with us right here in chat now. One of the most we actually get in chat very often is about careers with Sensay, how to be involved, how to be an advisor, consultant, all these different things, how to get involved more personal with Sensay.
Yeah, it's great. It's actually a really good and relevant bit of feedback. So we are updating our careers page, which you can find at sensay.io/careers. Pretty soon there'll be a lot more detail about what it means to work at Sensay, including more information about our culture, our team, the sort of annual meetups that we have to work together. A lot more information about why everyone's so happy to wear our swag all the time. I mean, even Lars is obviously a big proponent of this, but you can see he's got a hoodie, he's got his big bag in the background there, the Sensay bag. So we get some great swag, but also just we've got a really great team who's very, very proud to work with us, and everyone's even for a fully remote team, everyone's really engaging and engaged, and just always interested in what everyone else is up to. So it's really fantastic to have built that. For anyone who's interested in joining up with Sensay, do apply at sensay.io/careers or look on our LinkedIn for current available jobs. We generally hire European times with a bit of flexibility to East Coast US up to the, I guess, sort of India and Dubai time zones. We're generally looking for people who are young, hungry, people who have other people that they would want to bring with them. If they have people that they think are great additions to the team, we look for people who are obsessed and obsessive. We look for people who get really passionate about what they work on and what they do. We look for A-team players. We look for people who have a series of what we call medals, so having a few successes behind them and a few things that they're super proud of and proud to talk about. We look for people who follow up with us and people who are engaged and actually obviously really have passion to work for the company and understand and follow the mission. And one of my favorite ones is that we look for people that we would be happy working for. And that includes myself. If I interview someone, I think, do you know what, that this person is really inspiring. They know what they're talking about. They are someone that I would be happy to work for if the tables were turned. That's, for me, that's a really important sort of guideline for what we look for. We look for people who are entrepreneurial. We look for people who are excellent communicators. We look for people who are problem solvers. People who have growth potential and want to learn and want to grow, people who champion our brand, so people who are actively engaged in Sensay community, and people who are the type of person who are very happy to wear our swag out and about everywhere. I said people who believe in the mission and creativity, so we look for people who are generally more on the creative side. So yeah, it's we've got a nice sort of company culture that we're looking to expand and constantly hiring into that.
Yeah. As you can see, Kevin, our lovely back-ended Kevin, he just pulled up the question I actually wanted to ask as well, because you were talking about integration with Line and international chat platforms. But what do you like about the Zoom and Teams for Microsoft?
Yeah, so as I mentioned before, we've got lots of different, we've got hundreds of different integrations planned, everything from inputs to output channels. So both in terms of where we train our replicas from to the different places they can be hosted and actually interact with users. So when it comes to things like Zoom, Microsoft Teams, we're probably going to be starting with the likes of Google Workspace and Slack. But Zoom and Microsoft Teams won't be too far behind, because having a replica sit on Zoom calls and having a note taker being able to be processed by the replicas as data training, and by being able to have that integration into things like Teams, where it can sit in different channels and actually be able to give feedback should it need to. Now, this is important because you can have something like a replica of a CEO or a senior or a manager that sits in on junior conversations without having to, make the information too public. But at the same time, it can mean that the feedback can be helping the junior people to stay aligned with company goals. It can help to disseminate, wider information from the company, and actually help to, train, onboard, and just be a bit of like feedback before approaching that person in real life. So it saves a bit of time by getting, a bit of feedback from something that's trained on them. And I think that becomes super, super powerful for a lot of people.
Yeah. So yeah, he has. Yeah, there he came.
What else
Oh
does the
yeah, the
team?
Trump and Elon question about replicas. If we can make any more popular ones like Elon and Trump. This is a question we had a couple of times in the past as well, right?
Yeah, so in terms of creating replicas of famous characters and people, I think there are lots of different people out there who have done that and can do that, and we count ourselves in that. Anyone can create a replica of anyone in any space, and you can create it as a character and have a bit of fun with it. It's not our focus though. While we think that could be potentially another vertical, it could be something that someone builds out on top of us to do celebrity replicas and famous people replicas. It's not necessarily for Sensay as a core product. Our core product is the wisdom engine, the actual like sort of personality computer, this AI brain that basically recreates people. Someone might want to build out a celebrity solution, an influencer solution, some kind of even just celebrity character ones. Having an individual like an Elon Musk or President Trump or any of these big famous names create Sensay would be fantastic. But we're focusing on right now big enterprises and governments as a whole, where we can create thousands of replicas in one go, rather than chasing individual replicas here and there. We may do some from time to time, working with people as examples and showcases, and maybe for some PR and marketing. But in the likelihood is that we are focusing on large scale enterprises where we can actually really help these big companies to solve a problem that is intrinsic to every business, every organization. The knowledge loss that they suffer when someone is unavailable or when someone leaves the company is such a substantial loss to the company that it's a really valuable thing what we can do for them.
It's a good thing. I had a lot of fun the other day creating my own degen character completely from scratch. Really human engine came out of it. I loved it so much.
Yeah, I've been creating a few recently as well. I'm getting back into it. I've found myself a bit of free time, so creating a few useful ones for myself. Creating like a mini army of replicas to help me out with my job day
I've
to
seen
day.
a few of them, yeah. So a lot of people have been doing the quest lately. Like you see here, any quest for Kazam, would it be for Kazam? For me, I could basically answer a lot about this because we are continuously giving out quests to earn up your points. And we are having an app come in soon, right? To actually work together with our questing stage, right? Of course, I took you in the middle of a glass when I lifted over to you, right?
Yeah, classic. Yeah, so anyone can go to sensay.io/quests and get more involved. We have our entire quest platform, which enables anyone to contribute to the community and get involved with different BD tasks, different quest tasks, different social tasks that can earn them points in the not too distant future. At the moment, those points contribute to monthly quests with cash prizes, but in the not too distant future, we'll be enabling anyone to convert their points into swag and also into Sensay tokens. So you can actually cash out your points for swag. So the more points you have, the more swag and the more tokens you'll be able to get in the future. So do get involved if you like that kind of stuff. If you want to find out how you can get more involved with Sensay and how you can help us to market the brand and support our BD and development efforts, do check out the quest page.
Yeah, I've seen a lot there. Like we have a very people that really done quest over a long time. They've really been doing great. So can we share a bit more about our target audience or target clients?
Sure. So right now we have two avenues, two sort of target tracks we're working on. First one is enterprise customers. So even though we have our B2C platform there for demos, for just anyone who wants to go and create their own replica, our real target market right now is enterprise customers, businesses, organizations, governments who have a serious knowledge problem or a knowledge loss problem specifically. People are looking to invest into AI. People who are looking to essentially just maximize their productivity using AI in some form or another. And what we can do is we can create those replicas of their key people, their executives, their experts, their managers, their day-to-day workers who have either specialized or even generalist knowledge of themselves, of the company, to create these replicas of them that can mean that they are their knowledge is not lost because they're asleep, because they're offline, because they are on holiday, on maternity, paternity leave, or at the very unfortunate side of if someone leaves a company through retirement or from being fired or because they get poached. And as a company leader, I understand that this pain, you lose good people naturally all the time, and it's a real sort of that loss is felt because there's obviously retraining, there's hiring processes, there's loads of other things that go into that. So what Sensay does for them really is it helps to alleviate not all of that loss, because I think that there's still a lot of things that wouldn't be replicated, but at least helping to retain and make available 20 to 30% of that knowledge loss is a huge value uplift to any organization or any enterprise. So that's the big focus in terms of our direct sales. But what we're also going to be doing is launching these hackathons every 3 months as an open hackathon. Now, these open hackathons will be to encourage entrepreneurs, builders to develop out different verticals for us. So the first hackathon we're going to announce soon will be in April, and it will be over the span of a few weeks. With some webinars. It will be targeted around one particular vertical to encourage builders, entrepreneurs, and developers to get involved for some cash prizes, some Sensay, and some future grants to actually develop out this really, really great concept that we're looking at for networking. And so that first hackathon will essentially look at us for our second type of clients, which is entrepreneurs who want to build on top of us and use our API to develop out different potential use cases for Sensay, because Sensay as a whole is so broad. It can be applied to so many different things, but what it does is it enables us to give a specific vertical that becomes really targeted and able to be marketed to a very specific niche audience. And so we're going to encourage that through these hackathons, as well as open source features and integrations.
Yes, Kevin, I'm just going to take one we have in from the community. It's one we actually asked a lot of times. So we have a lot of influencers finding us organically through everything. So we have a few of the community members that are not able to comment on the stream. They're asking a little bit more about how we are connecting more in with influencers and getting them to see us.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting through all of our different marketing activities, we're getting noticed, right? So we recently got, included in A16Z, one of the biggest venture funds in tech, into their sort of AI map. So part of that means that we are getting noticed from them. We do have some influencer outreach, and we do have, potential partnerships in terms of influencer agencies, as well as different verticals that can be built on top of us. So for example, Coles is one of the first API customer of ours that's built out an influencer marketing platform. Coles essentially replicates key influencers using the Sensay technology to make them useful for projects as brand ambassadors, as continuous AI influencers for as an extension of the influencer, but also for different projects. So there's a huge market for that in itself. In terms of what we're doing, we're also speaking to a few different Web3 and Web2 influencer marketing agencies that we can interact with. So we basically see where there's potential partnerships and integrations there, but also thinking about the right type of influencers for what we're doing. As influence marketing is huge, so we'll see more and more. I think we still have quite regular influencers picking us up organically. We don't chill necessarily, but we want to work with the right partners, and that includes influencers as well.
Yeah, it's important to have the right ones to work with us always, especially in that aspect. So we'll just wait for Kevin to pull up the next one. That was actually only one in from the community that came out. It's been one that's been asked a lot of times. That was why. Oh yeah, the Telegram app. Do we actually have a date for it yet, or they're still fine-tuning the last elements?
Still being fine-tuned. I mean, the reason they got slightly delayed is they realized something that can make it like significantly better with what we thought was a relatively simple addition, but it turns out it's taking a little bit longer. But it'll be a massive uptick in terms of what the actual app is capable of doing. So when that comes out, it's going to be a big, huge booster to community, to engagement, and to integrating the token in what we're doing day to day. And there's some really big, exciting developments for that.
Yeah, I can say just by seeing what is being built on that one, the continuous evolutions of it is amazing. I'm really looking forward for us being able to show it for the community completely.
Absolutely.
There we go. Yeah, we have hearts from calls. That was a fun question, Kevin.
I guess there's a couple of other questions coming through. Are we looking for a collaboration? Yes. I mean, get involved, speak to our, jump in the community, jump on the quests, recommend us to big businesses, just reach out, let us know what type of collaboration you're thinking of. And we're always open to, ideas. Our BD team is hungry for new ideas. They're looking for new collaborations, new partnerships, new people to work with, and new ideas. So, always welcome to come up with anything on those.
Perfect.
No, it was unavoidable.
It's a common one, right? You cannot avoid it no matter what you try. So, Dan, in your personal opinion, is the crypto bull run actually over?
Never trust me for any kind of trading or financial advice. So obviously it's been a tough week all around. I think the sentiment is shared by a lot of people, but it seems to positivity still seems to be around, and seeing what people are building in the space is good for the future. I think there's going to be more pain before it gets better. I think people are panicking. I think some big people are selling, and I think we could very easily see Bitcoin down to 70, 74K. So there's going to be more pain before it gets better. Crypto drops of 20, 30, 40% are not uncommon. It's very possible that happens. So it could even go even lower. For me personally, for the long term, there's different ways of looking at this. Some people are calling that it's hit like fifth waves and double tops and all these other trading advice and algorithms that basically tell them that it's going all the way down from here. Not all the way down, but significant drop down to possibly 30K. I don't think that would be the case. I think there would be a lot of interest, a lot of finances coming into the market. Should that happen, get anywhere close to that, I think people felt like they missed out a lot when Bitcoin was at something like 50K back in September, or was it August? And I remember telling Marco, our CTO, I was like, Marco, it's 50K now. Like, this is the time. You got to buy. It's gonna up we go, and up we went. And I think people who missed out on that would possibly jump back in at that point. So I think that would probably be a hard bottom. But in terms of, is the bull run over as a whole? I mean,
I saw some funny tweets.
Yeah, I mean, like source from random groups and Twitter messages I've seen. Same as always, people always call it badly. There's always equal amounts of people calling doom and gloom, and equal amounts of people calling it for, we're going straight to 250K. So I personally sit on the positive side. I think that we have a very good chance that there is a quick correction now. It's a hard correction, but it should be a good foothold and a good shakeout to see everything rise up again and pretty fast. I think maybe the end of the cycle is probably going to be something like November, maybe even early next year. There's a lot of macro factors this time, and also a lot of like trust, even within the community, that's lost because of the meme coin cycle, the cabal, of crypto, just basically extracting maximum value and taking it all away for themselves. But at the same time, that being here at ETH Denver, realizing that there's a lot of good things coming out of Ethereum and Base and different projects here as well. And even with the big hacks from things like Bybit, even with the international competition of AI from things like DeepSeek, and making people realize that AI can be done a lot cheaper and a lot faster, so that's going to hit tech stocks and earnings there. Even with that, I think that there's it's just seeing how fast AI moves, and crypto is a natural sort of ally for AI technology as a transactional layer. So do I think that it's over? Probably not. I think that there's a long way to go. I think this is just a reactionary week to the stock market itself from last week and this week, and I think that will have a quick correction, and then we should be back on track. So looking forward to seeing what's going to come. I could be wrong, but
we all could.
I'm more, but personally, it doesn't change my vision on it. I still buy Bitcoin, I still buy Ethereum, and I still buy Sensay. Like, for me, it's all three are long term things for me. I try not to look at it day to day or week to week. I think that's too stressful, and I have enough on my plate already. So it's for me, it's about long term understanding, and for the community to check on that. Like, anytime you want to have a look at what I you can check out my crypto wallet anytime. It's just sensaydan.eth. So it's public, and you'll see that there's continuous buys of Sensay tokens in there.
You post them as well.
I like to be public and transparent about it. And I've got a goal of accumulating a certain amount of tokens, and hopefully I'll get there. And then when I do, who knows what I'll do. A couple of other quick questions coming through. Does ChatGPT suck? Personally, I like using Claude and ChatGPT. If you pay for the pro version, it's amazing, and the deep research is really incredible. But the one that's super exciting right now is Grok 3. So if you had a chance to play around with that, it's actually very, very exciting. Again, you need the pro account on Twitter, but it's an amazing. It's amazing to see how. It's amazing to see how fast it was trained. There's a real incredible thing there. How fast and how it compares in such a short amount of time. So that would be my answer in terms of like which LLMs I use. I use a combination of Perplexity as a Google search. I use ChatGPT Pro, Deep Research, and Grok 3 right now. There's another one here as well from Nobody, ironically.
Lovely Solana.
Do I hold any Solana? I do have some Solana. I've never been the biggest Solana fan. I think in terms of what Solana does in terms of a community is incredible. Solana is it's obviously a different tech stack, and it's got a lot of support, and being in the having that community drive it back up after it was basically considered down and out, and then coming through with, even if it was quite a centralized version, even if their own founders don't even use decentralized technology, the Solana community has really like supported it through the NFT craze, through this like meme coin phase, and I think I wouldn't bet against that community more than anything else. So yes, I have a little bit of Solana, not very much, but I have a little bit. But no, I don't then invest in meme coins. I wouldn't even know where to start, let alone well, no, that's not true. But I wouldn't. Yeah, meme coins for me, I don't have the time to keep on top of it all, and I feel like there's just people who are just trying to extract value against people, so it's just too risky. Yeah, maybe we'll do a Dan meme coin at some point, but probably not on Solana, and probably not now.
Well, let's do Sui then. It's becoming quite popular.
Yeah, Sui's going through. Is actually, I'm going to a Sui event later tonight. No, but they're really excited. I mean, actually, that's we are working with some big names in Web3 right now for something that I'm not going to talk about too much, but we've got something that's really exciting when it comes to when it comes through to the sort of like Web3 side of what replicas can do. So we'll have more on that probably early April.
And Blair already saying, don't do it.
Don't do down coin. We came very close a couple of weeks ago. I think we were joking about it and just launching one out off the back of like Trump and Melania. Then I got talked down again. Got enough things to do, so we don't need to.
Was that before or after one of our crew members lost his whole paycheck on Trump?
I think it was definitely around that time.
Yeah, I think we're getting sidetracked, but yeah, we got a lot of questions answered.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, I think we're going to wrap up there. So thank you for listening in, watching, joining today. We're going to start doing these every week. They'll be 30, 45 minutes long each time. And yeah, please do send your questions in the group during the week. We're just going to keep building, keep growing, keep building what we're doing. Any sneak peek of what to expect on March 17th?
Let him sweat.
Is March 17th as a particular day? I don't know. No, I don't have any. I don't have the answer to that because I don't know what's happening on March 17th myself. So no sneak peek because that would be a surprise for me too. Who won the donation back in December? Yeah, so I did a nice little Christmas charity thing where I gave away $10,000 worth of Sensay tokens to whoever I thought deserved it the most, and it was nice. I enjoyed doing that. I think it was a great opportunity to help someone in need, and it went to 2 people in the end. So the first one was this incredible guy who's battling this like rare form of cancer in the Netherlands, who I did announce it on that post, so you can search on my Twitter and you can find the transactions. This guy called Hans in the Netherlands who's got 2 kids. He's battling this rare form of cancer, and so he was recommended by I can't remember who the recommendation came from, but someone on the Twitter, and it was I got to chat to the guy. Really inspiring story, and it was really nice to be able to just do a little bit for him. And then the other guy, the other half went to this guy called Jay, who wanted the money to pay for his dad's medical bills in Ethiopia. So it was nice. We managed to arrange the transfer to direct to the hospital, and his dad was been suffering from disease for quite a while, and so he managed to get a much better treatment because of it. And so it was really great to help with these 2 people. I couldn't decide on one in the end, so we split it between 2. And it was something just really nice to be able to do. Like a few, I guess pretty much about 4 years now. I was flat broke and in a lot of need as well. So it's nice to be able to see my life turn around a lot and be able to help out some others and do something that really makes a difference to them. So I'm not saying I'm gonna do that all the time, but it was nice to do as a nice thing over Christmas. Anyway, I think we're going to wrap up there. So thank you all for the questions. Thanks for listening in, and we'll see you on the next one. Feel free to jump into any of our communities at our Sensay. You can find me. That's okay. You can find me on any socials at Sensay Dan. You can check out Sensay.io. You can check out Coles, who built out the first API use case, and who'll be running around East Denver this week as well. And yeah, please feel free to read more into the project and reach out to myself or Lars if you have any other follow-up questions. And if not, we'll see you next week. So thank you very much.
Thank you for today. Take care, everyone.
In a world where knowledge fades, Sensay lights the path we've made. From stories untold to wisdom profound, we'll keep your voice where it's always found. The spark of genius, the heart of thought, In every step, the battles we fought, preserve, extend, and innovate. For the future is ours to create. Sensay rise through the ages and time. Knowledge immortal, voices that climb. From the past to the future, we pave the way. Wisdom eternal, this is Sensay. AI built, but human in soul. A legacy carved to make us whole. Through every moment we hold the light, guiding the way both day and night. Imagine a world where minds unite, ideas soar and dreams take flight. Together we stand, a force so strong, echoing brilliance where we belong. Sensay rise through the ages and time. Knowledge immortal, voices that climb. From the past to the future, we pave the way. Wisdom eternal, this is Sensay. This is the anthem of innovation, a promise of endless creation. Breaking the rules, rewriting the game. Sensay is more than a name. Sensay rise through the ages and time. Knowledge immortal, voices that climb. From the past to the future, we pave the way. Wisdom eternal, this Sensay. This is Sensay. In a world where knowledge fades, Sensay lights the path we've made. From stories untold